It's Will here coming at you with another video. You may have just seen coming in the future. I'm going to get this one out sooner because this is newer and I got to catch that, wave before it's completely dead. But today we're going to be looking at the Panzer IV. Anyways, but yeah, we're looking at the Panzer IV BCD. This is the early war version of the Panzer IV. Originally, if you wanted this layout, it was in resin. I do have one of the resins one, and just like any resin product you may have seen from Warlord, the plastic one is just as good with slightly a little bit more detail, and it's lighter and more customizable. So if you already own the resin version of this, you're not missing much, you're not getting screwed over. But if you don't have it, or you want to do an early war blitzkrieg German army, or you play with group and stuff, maybe because you're not a fan of everyone have Panzer Shreks and stuff, or maybe you just like the early war with the French and stuff, especially with the new set coming out, or is out now, this is your next box you want to buy. So we're going to get into it, and we're going to open up. This is, again, a newer model from this year, so we're going to rate it, value it, talk about it, dealing with the last few models that we've reviewed on this channel. Which you haven't seen, go check out my review channel or what's in the box playlist. Especially the one about the EZ8. That one's worth checking out. So we'll see if this lives up to that hype. So, looking into it, we have the back here. Little look-see-loo here. So here we have a little blurb about it, just like all their boxes. Kind of explains what you get. Talking about the difference on it. I love it when they do this. Of course, you get your card, your markers, your order dice, transfer sheet, and then what else you get? Then of course you get your examples, your commander, and when you can use it. So again, early and mid, and I'm starting liking this. They're starting to do this now with their models, where they're actually telling you like what they used. So again, just like any sort of miniature maker, they kind of like tell you, this is assuming that you have the basic sort of painting set. So your white, your black, red, blue, green, silvers. This is basically telling you extras or what they used to like a specific thing that they did. But it seems like they've actually listed a majority of the base models and stuff here. So if you have all these models, all these paints, along with your basic, German paint set, you can do this. So I really like that. It seems though they are mixing against your Army Painter with your Vallejo, which Army Painter's got that new Fanatics line coming out, so if this is any time to get some new models, we're gonna open up this box. I just took the plastic off, so I don't know what's actually in here. So we have our transfer sheets by there. Our transfers look like they have a mix of desert and normal, so they have new sheets. So we have our card. It looks like we're looking at 140 points to 210. That's for the B to F, and then it's an armor 9. It's got a light howitzer and a medium machine gun. It's got a coaxial and a forward facing. So there you go. So we'll put that away. Then here we go. We have our sheet with our order dice. Plastic bases. Woo! That's why I like these. I get extra bases from this. I use cardboard from the boxes to make the bases for these. It's cool. Life hack. Especially if you guys order a lot from Warlord and they start just sending you those free sprues. Whenever you buy vehicles, keep the bases and then cut tiny squares out of the cardboard box that they come with and put the glue on the laminated side. And you just glue them on using PVA glue. Works just as fine. Alright, so then next off we have our instruction manual. Again, with the newer stuff, and with the newer stuff it kind of like tells you about it. And kind of how to build it. So now the cool thing here is, just like one we'll be talking about in a later video, as I'm editing when this one's up, it clicks in like Lego. So the cool thing about this is because there's two different hull forms, depending between like B to D and E to F, whatever. You could, in theory, with plastic card, you can build plastic walls around here, put an AT gun on here, like a Pack 88 or whatever, or like the Pack 30, the light anti-tank gun, and you can turn this into a weird early war like Martyr or a gun carrier. There's probably some sort of like weird model or what are they called? Blueprint based, never made tank that has a 360 platform anti-tank gun on here that you could build this as. But the cool thing is going to be to see how they make the turrets and stuff on here, to see if you can have multiple tops to make it multi-piece just like the Japanese tanks. So it's going to be interesting to see how many parts they give you, how you can build this. And this is cool. And they tell you kind of like, zooming in here, and they tell you like normal and desert, because this did go into the desert. And we have Panzer, then you have your winter, and then you have your desert. And last but not least, the main reason why you guys come here, not just to hear me speak, is the Sprus. So this is the more modern day Sprus from Warlord, and I gotta say, these Sprus are really good. I've been loving them. The Easy 8 was a blast to build. It was really nice. I love it. So we're gonna see how this changes it. Our first Spru. So this is going to have your treads and all that stuff, your bottom half. Here we have our different hulls. And we'll get into looking at this in more closer. So it looks like... Okay, I see. Okay, it's not that bad. Okay. So that's cool. And then of course your top and your bottom. So looking into this, as we're gonna zoom in here. So here we go. So we have a look at the tracks. If you want to know the difference between your Panzers and stuff like that, the Chieftain does a really good video on that. But to know if you're, again, it might be a little bit harder, especially since I started looking at the models, how to tell if I had a Panzer 3 and a Panzer 4. If you see my Army video review of last year, where I look at all my German models, I kind of had that issue. But the way to tell if the frame is a Panzer 4, and I think this is how you tell the difference between a Hetzer and a Martyr or whatever. But anyways, the wheels. The Panzer 4 had these road wheels in like line like this, and they do model it so that you have that little sag, so like it's kind of weighted down more on the back because all the weight would be on the back. The earlier B to D had these road wheels in the back, and which their parts seconds are right there. You have what looks like your turret top with the turret back, and your back where your road wheels hook up, your front. This looks like a back piece for depending on what hull you use, and your treads of it. This is our one version. I believe this is the EF version, the more, you know, quote-unquote modern version of the Panzer IV, the one that has the 75mm gun on it. And of course your tools, your turret mantlet, back of your turret, your hull sides for the one version of it, and then this is your B to D. So the Panzer IV and 3s had this sort of design. The Panzer IV, the long gun, had this one. I'm pretty sure. And the front, oh, where am I? There you go. That's the front. And another side with tools already pre-glued on it. So hey, last but not least, we have the bottom here. So we have, oh, the hull, exhaust for one of them with its pipe. The turret bottom, you only get one turret bottom here. Your cupolas, though again the turret stay the same for either. Another side for if you do it differently, your hatches. If you want to do one side and you know which side you're doing, you glue this in, it holds the turret in. And your top hull where that part glues. Again, you can turn this into a flat and make it like a full casing with some plastic card and turn it into a anti-tank gun. But yeah, with that, guys, we're gonna go and build this tank. When we come back, we'll review the stats and what it looks like built and any cool unique things I did with it to get max value. So taking a look at this, we have, as you can see, the treads. We have the top part here of the turret. I have it so it's glued in so it ain't coming out. I have this, which I'm going to paint up as a flag because this is going to be for early war, my Blitzkrieg Germans, so they're super nation proud. And of course for their airplanes and stuff. Then we have here the spaced armor. And yeah, so basically it's a Panzer IV early mode. Nothing too special. It's your medium tank, armor 9. It might have Tiger Fear. I don't think it does. I think only the more boxy later war Tiger tanks, especially the ones with the skirts in, get Tiger Fear. Though I'll have to look that up again. But it is decent tank for what it is. I'll have the stats up here so you guys can quickly take a look at it, take a look at the stat card. But with that, this has basically been a quick look at it. It's pretty nice. It's actually quite hefty for being a plastic model, and it was pretty simple to put together. No complaints, just as good as the Easy 8 was. So I gotta say, I really like this, and for its price, yeah, I didn't have too much stuff left over, so I didn't feel like I was wasting stuff if I couldn't build it. The other thoughts I had to take on for building this, you can only build the one hull, the one turret layout. Though again, like I said, I don't feel too bad about pieces used up and not used because it didn't feel like I was wasting money. And since that, if you find ways to copy and print your own stuff, you can literally just swap the hulls out. The turret stays the same. The back is all the same, stuff like that. But if you do it just out of the box with no extra tools, just clippers and glue, you can only make the one version. There's no hull swapping. The side panel here is the same on either side. So it again, the only parts you're wasting if you don't build the other side is this hull here, and like a side panel here that's specific to the hull that you use. But yeah, that's really it. So I shall see you guys. Hopefully you liked it. We will see you in the next video. Click the video. Click it. Click the video. You know you want to. Click it.